So you want to shorten the gap from your end goal from here to here, right? If you do, you need a mentor, right? You need a mentor, you need a coach. I do personal coaching and mentoring for Amazon, e-commerce, digital marketing, tons of different businesses. But the best place to start in the world, does not matter who you are, doesn't matter what your experience is, Amazon, right? So like, what are you doing right now? Other than watching this video, what were you doing before? Scrolling your Facebook feed, watching YouTube videos, right? What are you doing with your time? You need to prioritize your time if you want to reach your end goals. The gap from you and your end goal is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger the more you let time pass, right? The more you do nothing. The more nothing you do, the more nothing you get. You have to take action right away. And you probably heard people say this to you all the time, and online entrepreneurs and coaches and gurus and mentors all saying all this crap about mindset. And yes, mindset's super important, but the number one most important thing, I'm gonna give you two most important friggin' things you can do is focus, right? Choose something that you want to do, focus on it. Number two, action. Doesn't matter what your mindset is. It does help if you have a better, stronger, more positive mindset, but I know people who come from literally the crappiest places in life, come from absolute dirt, and have become some of the biggest and best entrepreneurs I've ever met in my life, coming from these really crappy places. So it doesn't matter where you come from, as long as you're able to focus and take action, mindset comes over time, right? So like, what are you doing right now? Doesn't matter what you're doing. If it's not focusing and achieving your goals, you need to get it done, right? The best time to plant a tree, 20 years ago. Next best time, right now. So you see where these other people are. You see successful people. You see them online. You see them in the world. You see them wherever, magazines, TV, whatever. You see people in places that you want to be. Yet, what are you doing about it, right? What is it you're doing about it? What did you do yesterday about it? Ask yourself that question. What have you done today about it, other than going to work? If you already have a business, that's great, right? And if you're working on it, that's really good. The more time you put in, the more effort and the more focus you put in on that business, the better results, right? You're going to have better results. You're going to be able to grow your business. Now, if you just have a job, or you have no job, or you have a part-time job, what are you doing with the other 80 hours or 60 hours of your week, right? 40-hour a week job, that's a part-time job, right? If you're not willing to put in like 60, 70, 80 hours a week, you're going to have a really hard time shrinking your goal, even with a coach or a mentor, right? Doesn't matter. So 10 hours with a business is a lot different than 10 hours with a job. And you might think that makes completely perfect sense, right? Oh yeah, well, being an entrepreneur is different than having a job. But 10 hours at your job translates to however much you get an hour, that's how much you get paid. With a business, you could put in 10 hours an extra week, 10 more hours, 20 more hours. I would expect no results, right? Especially in the beginning. Put in 100 hours a week on your business, you can still get no results. Sometimes you can even end up in debt if you're making mistakes. But this is the thing, having a coach and a mentor to get you to the right place. It'll get you there faster. It'll help you avoid the mistakes and pitfalls of starting your business without the help. Secondly, the more time and effort you put in on your business, 100 hours a week, 80 hours a week, even if it is just 10, over time, that action will accumulate. It will compound, right? Normally, what I like to say is 30 days on your business, right here's 30 days. You'll see the results from this 30 days of effort trickle over into the next 30 days, right? So January, you put in a ton of work. You put in like 50, 60 hours a week, right? You put in hundreds of hours that month on your business. You didn't see any results. This is the breaking point for a lot of people, where most people will give up. Oh, I did this. I worked for a week and I didn't get anything. I worked for a month. I worked for 60 days. I actually lost money. I did not make any. And this is where 99% of people give up and the 1% continue. This is where you need to be. This is what you need to wrap your head around. And this is literally all it takes is taking action, right? Mitigating your failures and avoiding mistakes. That's where a mentor and a coach comes in. Say, don't do that. Don't do that. I screwed up here. You're not gonna, because I'm gonna tell you how to do it, right? This is why you need a mentor and a coach. So 10 hours a week on a business, a lot different than 10 hours on a job. But 1 year from now, 2 years from now, an additional 10 hours of you putting in on your business could actually be incrementally massively different than if you were to go to a job for 10 hours. 20 bucks an hour, 10 hours is 200 bucks before tax. If you have built a business and it took you 2 years and you made a lot of mistakes in the beginning, but you had a coach or a mentor or whatever, or if you didn't, 2 years later, you have a multiple six-figure business, or even just 50 to 100K a year. And if that's more than you're making at your job, that right there is enough should motivate you. That by itself should motivate you to put in the action and dedication, right? But 2 years from now, an extra 10 hours spent on your business that's already doing really well is 10 times more powerful than 10 hours on a job. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter the business. If the business is doing well, and and then you compare it to a job, 10 hours on the business is way better than what you're going to get from a job. But in the beginning, 10 hours might get you nothing. 100 hours might get you nothing. And this is where most people give up. Don't give up, keep pushing, right? Like, what are you doing today? Scrolling Facebook, watching YouTube videos? Get to work, right? Now, the place I recommend any new entrepreneur, as I said in the beginning of this video, Amazon. The reason for that, it is 1 in 1,000 business models where you can literally, 1 in 1,000, where you can literally start seeing results in the first week, maybe first couple weeks. So that 10 hours you put in your first week, you might actually make your very first sale, maybe your very first couple sales. I have tons of students and mentees that have achieved results overnight. Now, mind you, some of them might have literally stayed up all night listing new products on their Amazon store and following my coaching and advice, right? But Amazon is 1 in 1,000, right? So if you're still watching this video, why? I just got to ask you, why are you watching? Let's go.